How do I know which way to take my business now that I'm focusing on it full time? Okay, now that you're focusing on your business full time, I'm getting that there's going to be phases in your journey. So it feels like right now, what is most important is for you to be like stabilizing, like basically to create your foundation, to create security so that you can move on to these other projects. It looks like there is one thing that you know already works. Maybe it's not your most favorite thing, but it's what works right now. And then it does feel like you have other projects that you're excited about, but it does feel like those projects need to be, I don't want to say shelved because it doesn't mean like shelved, not looked at them, but it feels like they need to be planned out for months to come. So there's a bit of like what is presently important, like what are we selling right now? What are we putting out right now? And that is something that you know works, like that's the current. And then it looks like there's a planning out for the next things that you're excited about. The best like metaphor I have for this is that it feels like almost you're a musician that wrote a great song like 2 years ago, and currently it's a bestseller, like, or it's the hit. It's on the radio. It's like people are loving it, but you're kind of bored of it because you wrote it 2 years ago and you've been performing it at like little clubs for the last 2 years. But because you were performing it for the last 2 years in these little clubs, now it's like a big hit and the masses want to hear it now. So there's a little bit of like a frustration with that, but at the same time, you're writing the next song, which will probably be popular in a year from now or so. So you kind of have to balance that out, that feeling of being like, okay, like, yes, I know this thing works, whatever, and what you're excited about. So everything that you're excited about, I feel like you can do it in small ways. It's kind of like you're performing the hit at big concerts, you know, like where you know you're supposed to, but then on a Tuesday night, you go to like your local bar and you perform the new song that you've been writing. So it feels like there just has to be a balance between like the artist in you, like the creative, the person that's like passion, has this, like these ideas, and also like almost like this corporate version of you or something, like the version of what is, or like the boss version, like, okay, like this as a boss, this is what's needed of me. Like I need to show up to these things because this is what supports the company. So there's almost like a balance between like responsibility and creativity in a way with here. And I just feel like you just need, for the projects that you want to do, the ones that are in the future, they just need to be planned out the way you would plan out a vacation, or like if you were planning your honeymoon, you know, maybe you would be planning your honeymoon for a whole year. And in a way, planning is exciting, you know, like you are researching the restaurants and all that stuff. So it feels like using like a project management system. We use Asana at my company. So just kind of planning it out by months and getting it ready for its release and testing it in the meantime. Let me see what else I'm getting from this question. So in the question, you also said like, now that I'm focusing on this full time, and it makes me feel like you have a relationship to time that needs to be reimagined. You need to like look at what your relationship to time. So I don't know if you're leaving a full-time job and then like going into your business full-time, but it does make me feel like you may think you need more time dedicated to business than you really need. So I feel like for instance, perhaps you're coming from like a full-time job and it was 8 hours a day. I don't feel like you need 8 hours for your business. I feel that sometimes work may be a distraction from true balance in your life and true self-discovery. You are not just your business. You are not just like a worker or a career person. Like there's more to you, and there's interest, and there's just so much more to discover in you. So really, like there, in a way, like perhaps this company or this business was almost like a side gig and maybe had some like fun and passion in it. But now as you transition it to your full time, it has to be seen as like the masculine kind of the thing that takes care of me, and maybe it doesn't fulfill every passionate idea or every like ounce of me, because I'm meant to discover myself in other ways that don't require me to exchange money for it or to make money with it. So as you move into full time, I'd also like maybe not use that word full time, because it to you it feels like it sounds like it's a block of time. And in addition to kind of like maybe planning other projects, I'd also plan like other self-discovery projects for yourself, things that don't involve clients or exchanging money or making money. I feel like, for instance, like right now I'm studying herbalism, and yeah, you know, I could see it maybe going into my work one day, but I don't even like want to think about that. And I'm just like making my own curriculum. You know, I'm just like studying herbalism. I walk out of my property and I take pictures and I write about the flowers, and I'm just kind of doing like a self-study for myself. I don't know why I'm interested in it, but I am, and it's calling me. And I'm not going to exchange, you know, I'm not going to be like teaching herbalism or anything like that, you know, as of right now. So it feels like there needs to be space for that as well, because part of going and doing this work full time is really about creating security for you and taking care of you, kind of like being like your sugar daddy. You know, it's like the old man that you live with that pays all your bills. That's kind of what this company wants to be. There is going to be like always a creative portion that fuels the next project, but it's just not all about work right now. So that's the feeling that I'm getting. So number one, like kind of knowing that do what works, like what you currently know what works, get excited about the next projects, plan them out, give it time to test, and like know that that's in the future. And also think about time management and how else are you filling up your life? Like what other things that you're doing in your life that are about self-discovery and don't have anything to do with money. I liked that one. Hope that was helpful for those of us who are maybe moving into full-time. If you are there, let me know what's going on, what stood out to you in this channeled message, and what do you feel like you're gonna do with it. All right, until next time.